Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now and go to H.A. Goodman's other channel, subscribe there, and watch the latest video on this topic. I am not furthering any theory. I am not stating this is a fact. I am simply speculating based on public record evidence, very reputable sources like The Guardian, CNN, and other publications. For example, the New York Times for years has tried to correlate Trump to Putin, don't be a puppet, Trump's complicated relationship, Donald Trump and the puppeteer, and then, of course, there's Donald Trump, the Russian poodle, and so this is, okay, so giving you some background into why I am simply stating, and then, oh, by the way, President Obama was Putin's favorite, according to The Guardian, in 2008. Really quickly, hit subscribe, check it out. This is huge. Venezuelan president says U.S. pressured Smartmatic to make turnout claims. This article is 8 years old. Nicolas Maduro stands by official vote count and says the tech platform is pressured to the neck by OK. I want to read you this, and it ties into what the FBI is doing with 700-plus boxes of a whole lot of information pertaining to 2020. And there is the belief among President Trump and others. Here's The Guardian. Trump hits support for fringe theory that Venezuela and the 2020 election. And then there's Dominion has been sold to a new owner, and probably new voters. It's now called Liberty Vote. I believe it was sold to a conservative and Republican former official. And U.S. prosecutors charged Smartmatic in alleged $1 million bribery case. Now, the issue here is the following. Venezuela president says U.S. pressured Smartmatic to make turnout claims. Nicolas Maduro stands by official vote count and says the tech platform is pressured to state that he cheated. The same voting company that Democrats and media defended once stated categorically that Maduro cheated. Venezuelan president has accused the company that provides the technological platform for the country's voting system of bowing to U.S. pressure after it said official turnout numbers in Sunday's vote had been manipulated by at least 1 million votes. Nicolas Maduro stood by the official count of more than 8 million votes and said an additional 2 million people would have voted if they had not been blocked by opposition protesters. Quote, that stupid guy, the president of Smartmatic, pressured to the neck by you-know-who and the Brits, said that there were 7.5 million. Okay, Maduro said in televised remarks, I think there were 10 million Venezuelans who went out. Okay. Smartmatic, years back, stated that there was foul play in the elections of Venezuela. You fast forward, Trump hints support for fringe theory that Venezuela influenced 2020. President's comments implies hostility to Venezuela may be based on unfounded conspiracy theory. Okay, it's definitely not a conspiracy theory when the New York Times calls President Trump a Russian poodle. That would not be part of a conspiracy theory. But let's just continue here. Trump hints at support for fringe theory. We'll get to that in a second. Dominion, like I said, was sold to a new owner. You would think that with all the money that it got from Fox News, it wouldn't be sold, but it was sold. Now we have Smartmatic charged. Smartmatic indicted in foreign bribery case, possibly endangering its lawsuits against Fox News and Giuliani. You fast forward 6 years, and all the people who said that these voting companies and the counts were pristine, now Dominion has been sold and is a new company run by, essentially owned by a Republican or Republicans, and Smartmatic has been indicted in a foreign bribery case. Co-founder of Smartmatic, voting machine company charged with paying bribes for Philippine contracts. The issue now is it possible that Nicolas Maduro is working on a plea deal, or with John Ratcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard, or giving the information to John Ratcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, to perhaps lessen his sentence or perhaps make his life a lot easier. The issue here is the following. Voting machine. This is the Department of Justice, Southern District of Florida. Hit subscribe if you're new. Again, not furthering any specific theory. I'm giving information from The Guardian, from NBC News, from CNN, from the Associated Press, and from the Department of Justice. And we'll hear from Kash Patel in a second. Voting machine company charged in Philippine bribery and money laundering scheme. A federal grand jury in Miami returned a superseding indictment today charging a multinational corporate company that provides voting machine and election services for participating in a scheme to pay and launder more than $1 million in bribes to a Philippine government official in connection with contracts related to the 2016 Philippine national elections. The issue here is, could it be possible that this type of foul play, maybe not exactly that's this type of foul play, but could it be possible that some kind of foul play took place with Biden defeating Trump and then less than 4 years later being kicked out by his own political party? That's also part of the equation. How did Biden lose the support of 81 million Americans so quickly just because of one debate performance? Did he have that support to begin with? You answer that in the comment section. But here, to finance the bribes, the co-conspirators allegedly created a slush fund by over-invoicing the cost per voting machine supplied for the 2016 Philippine elections. To conceal the corrupt payments, they used coded language, created fraudulent contracts and sham loan agreements, and routed transactions through bank accounts in Asia, Europe, and the U.S., including within the Southern District of Florida. Okay. Trump's DOJ investigating unfounded claims Venezuela helped steal that election. Discredited election conspiracy theory. This is The Guardian. Could strengthen Trump's military action. Okay, so this was obviously before Maduro was arrested. And by the way, Biden offered a $25 million reward for Maduro, and he was arrested by Trump. As always, Trump it does what Biden kind of sort of wants to do. But anyway. Oh, and by the way, Biden deported hundreds of thousands of immigrants, undocumented immigrants, utilizing ICE, but no protests. I wonder why. Federal investigators, The Guardian, federal investigators have been interviewing multiple people who are pushing unfounded claims that Venezuela helped for Donald Trump steal his election from Donald Trump. And you have here an investigation of this sort underscores how Trump's Justice Department is becoming a major weapon in the president's effort to rewrite the history of his 2020 loss. Actually, Democrats rewrote the history when they kicked Biden out of contention after he won his primary. That is a big problem. While there were a variety of conspiracy theories that helped fuel Donald Trump's 2020 Stop the Steal movement, the purported influence of Venezuela was always a central claim. It asserted that electronic voting in the U.S. was secretly controlled by the impoverished regime. Now it's the impoverished regime, okay, both by President Nicolas Maduro and his deceased predecessor, Hugo Chavez. That's not exactly what President Trump is saying, but again, to simplify what President Trump is saying, the claims he's making, the fact that the intelligence community is part of the removal of ballots, that's huge. That's important at the election center the other day. But check this out.
Well, on to this. As Brooke mentioned, the FBI director, he's now leading the federal investigation into the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. It's actually, I should note, HSI. Now, the controversy about the Biden's FBI Arctic Frost, that's in there, too. FBI Director Kash Patel, who joins me now. Director Patel, I want to start with the news, and the news is out of Fulton County, Georgia. I know this is an ongoing investigation, but the FBI on Wednesday did obtain a search warrant to look at this Fulton County election hub to access physical ballots, electronic ballot images, and voter rolls. Is there anything you can share at this moment?
Hey, Kaylee, it's great to be with you. Look, like any other investigation, the FBI follows the facts and the law, and President Trump and the Attorney General have given us clear mandate to reduce crime in this country and investigate anything that rises to the level of probable cause. And what we did, the FBI, with our partners at the Department of Justice and the AG, let out on an extensive effort to conduct interviews and an investigation, which led us to a probable cause.
So, after 10 years of stating that Trump is spreading conspiracy theories, there is now probable cause that a judge signed off on. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. All the information from The Guardian, CNN, and other publications perhaps is linked to the FBI raid of the election office. Hit subscribe. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. It is possible that Nicolas Maduro in custody is telling Trump a whole lot of things. Hit subscribe. Thank you.